Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In today's video we're going to be replacing the airbag blanking plate with a cubby holder on an MGTF. The dash pocket itself is made by a chap called Robert Adderley, and I found his details in a Facebook group for MGTFs. There's quite a few Facebook groups out there for MGTFs, and I believe there's posts about these dash pockets in almost all of them. So if you want to go and find one yourself, have a search out for those on Facebook, and I'll pop his name into the description below, and hopefully you'll be able to find them. But what you do is you send off your old blanking plate, which I have done, and then you get this back in the post. You'll see I've had a little sneak peek what's in there already, but I thought you might like to see this being unpacked and what it looks like when it comes out of it. So it comes with a set of instructions, which we will follow in today's video. So for those of you who do pick one of these up from Robert and you get these instructions, hopefully watching this video will be quite useful for you as well. The pocket itself is very, very good. Really impressed with it. We cleaned up the outside edge of the old one, the old blanking plate, before we sent it off. And then you can see when it comes back, the middle gets cut out, which is the bit where there was still some coating on the middle of the old blanking plate. So now we've got it unpacked, let's get out to the car and get this fitted. So to remove the blanking plate from your dashboard, you're going to need some trim removal tools. I picked these ones up off eBay, I think it was. So I'll pop a link in the description below where you can get those from. If you've not got any trim removal tools, what you can also use is like a spatula or a flat knife, like a flat blunt knife, or a flat-headed screwdriver would also work. If you're going to use something metal, I would recommend, and it is recommended in the instructions, that you use something soft underneath the metal object, so that you don't scratch your dash as you're taking the old plate out. And the reason for that is the dashes are quite soft, so it wouldn't take too much to make a mark on those as you take your old blanking plate out. So the first thing you have to do, the instructions say, is to start up on the left hand side and work your way to the right hand side. There are three, I suppose you can call them clips. I'll show you when we've got the blanking plate off. Along the bottom, and you're just going to be easing the left one out and the right one out, and then the middle one should just follow. So we'll start off doing that. So we push this into that bottom corner, and you'll see it pops out really easily. So this is now eased out, and you can hear it's now loose. Then you go over to the right hand side and do exactly the same thing, and you can see it's now popped out. At this point you can remove the trim removal tool, and at the top here you'll find that there's two metal clips which hold the blanking plate underneath the dash at the top. So to make sure that you can just pull it out, you just pull down, and then those will detach from the dash behind. You'll see along the top there are two clips. These two clips you will leave attached to your blanking plate when you send it off for the new one to be made. I didn't do, because my blanking plate is a spare, and the spare one that I sent off didn't have any clips attached, so I'll need to swap these over onto the dash pocket before I fit it. So we'll do that quickly now. When refitting these clips to your dash pocket, if you're going to, they are like an L shape, so you could probably just see that on the screen there. And the L, the long side, the long L, goes on the outside edge, just like that, when you push it back on. And then we'll do the other side. And there we go. The clips are now reattached to the dash pocket and ready to go back into the car. Before we do that, we will be removing the polystyrene block that is in place behind the blanking plate. That comes out just like that. Once you've taken that out, you can just get rid of that. That can go in the bin. I will be keeping it just because I might in the future put the blanking plate back on the car to replace the dash pocket at some point, so we'll be keeping that along with the old blanking plate, but we'll put those to one side for the time being. On mine, it might be the case, this is the same with yours, but on mine there is a plastic screw just in the top left hand corner here, so you push that out. This is there to keep the polystyrene block in place. You won't need this with the dash pocket fitted, so you can take that out. I'll take that out and I'll just attach it to the polystyrene block so that it doesn't go missing in case, as I say, we want to put that back in the car in the future. Now we've got the empty space ready to pop the dash pocket back into the car. At this point, it's worth mentioning that there are some MG TFs with airbags. If you've got an airbag fitted, you will not be able to fit one of these dash pockets, and to be honest, why would you? Why would you take out an airbag for a convenience of storing something? If you've got an airbag fitted, you should be able to identify it because it'll say SRS on it, much the same as it says at the bottom of your steering wheel, SRS. Not sure whether it's in which corner of the airbag it's in, where it says that, so if any of you know, pop a comment below and let me know. It would be good to know where the SRS appears, but that's how you identify one if you've got one. When fitting this back into the car, it is a reverse of what we did before. So the first thing is to look at where your two clips are, and you'll see there's a little gap just there. That little gap is going to go behind, so the little metal clip is going to go behind. You'll feel there's a piece of metal running along there. That metal clip is going to go behind there. Once that's in, we will then work these three notches under the metal bit at the bottom of the dash. Some of you might find that it's a little more difficult than others, and I think the reason will be because on some cars, just because of the age of them, the dashes have deformed slightly over the years, and they do have a tendency to come away ever so slightly. If that's the case, they just need pushing that little bit harder to get them to notch on, to get that notch to go behind that metal bit just there. So it is the reverse of what we did at the beginning when we took the old one out. So we will put the, firstly just take this out of the way so it doesn't fall out. We'll put these two clips under the top, and we will put it in at an angle and then just fold it down, rotate it down. Once you've rotated it down, you'll know it's in place because it's nice and snug on the top and you can't pull it out. At this point, you'll now need to find your trim removal tool again and work it in where that notch is on the left. So remembering there's a notch there, there's one there, and there's also one there. We're going to do the one on the left and the one on the right, and then we're going to keep our fingers crossed that the one in the middle just just works its way in. So we'll put that in underneath the notch on the left. So if you just have a quick look, there we go. That's where the notch is on the left. Put your trim underneath it, push it in and up, and then when they're in and up, remove the trim removal tool. You should find it has now attached. You'll know it's attached because you won't be able to pull it out. Over to the right hand side with your trim removal tool, find where that notch is, which is just there, and we'll push in and up. With it in and up, we then remove the trim removal tool, hold it in place, and keep our fingers crossed that it has caught that bit of metal on the back. It hasn't quite, because you can move this side, you can't move that side, so you know it's not quite taken. So we'll do that again, pushing the trim removal tool under that notch, pushing in and up, removing the tool, and then keeping our fingers crossed. And this time it has taken, because it's not moving it. We now know it's fitted in place. You can pull on that and it won't move, it won't come out of place. So that is now fitted. With the dash pocket now fitted, we can put the bit of rubber back in place. So yeah, that's the job done. You've now got a dash pocket fitted to your car. Looks like it's been in there since it came out of the factory. Some ways I don't know why MG Rover didn't fit these on cars or offer it as an option on cars that had the blanking plate. It seems like a missed opportunity, but now we've got an opportunity to rectify that by fitting the one now. They look great, look like they've always been there, and what a useful little space that we've got there to store things in for when you're out and about in your MG. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you want to see more how-to videos like this one, be sure to subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. Please also follow the MGTF on Instagram, where you'll get to see lots of other photos of the car. Thank you for joining today, and until next time, I'll see you soon.